I think I'll just do a shop update like this. Why don't y'all just walk around and look for things that are different from last week? I'll be laying here if you have any questions. A self-guided shop update would be pretty sweet though, wouldn't it? So, hey everyone, my name is Matt. Welcome to my backyard. Today is June 20th, and this is my weekly shop update. So I am just out here getting ready to do the final pictures and video on the swing. I'm waiting for the sun to dip below the horizon so I don't have so much harsh light going on over there, and I should have some pretty nice color cast from that. But check it out. Pretty sweet, huh? I do really like this thing quite a bit. So I mentioned this on Wood Talk, I think last week, and I mentioned this in the little Q&A thing I did last week, I think. I don't think I mentioned it here on the shop update though, that this isn't actually for us. This is going to a friend of ours that asked me to build this for them, and it's kind of sad actually, because I do really like this. I laid in it a little bit this afternoon, and I definitely enjoyed it. Now, it's kind of nice out here, like under the trees, but like, this would be a pain in the butt to like put away every single time you're done using it. So if we ever live somewhere with an actual enclosed porch where I can have one of these things, you'll probably see me make another one of them because they are wicked awesome. So I'm just wrapping up that. The video about this thing will probably be out next week. I'm gonna have a set of plans available for that for anyone who wants to build one of these things. It is super awesome. I went with a rope hanging system for it, and right now I just have it rigged up to this tree. Nothing super fancy there. I just used some nylon rope to use up most of the length, and then this is more just for looks out here. This is not really meant or set up right now for a bunch of people to jump on it, just, you know, me and my boys or something for a little bit. But yeah, definitely a concern with these things. If you're gonna build one of these things, just make sure when you hang it up, whatever you hang it on, and whatever you hang it with, can handle that load. So a couple of things out here, and then we'll head back into the shop. Now I got a really great response on my urban logging video. As you can see also, that log has turned 90 degrees. And since I got a good response on that, it seems like people are really interested in that. A viewer who owns a tree service company here in the Minneapolis area contacted me and asked if I wanted to do like a little bit of a collaboration video. So he cut down this walnut tree, and we're gonna do a little bit of a video, well obviously about removing this tree and then cutting it up, but also his perspective as someone who actually is doing this stuff every day, removing these trees, and then unfortunately most of the time dumping them. His name is Brandon, and he's been doing some chainsaw milling of some of the stuff that he gets and he can salvage, but with that, as you'll see, like there's a lot of logs that he just can't process all of them, and that becomes his own thing. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a really interesting perspective to have a little chat with him and see kind of where things land on his end. So look forward to that. This walnut log is 30 inches at the butt, and up here at the crotch, I don't know what that is. It's like 3 feet or something like that. And then I also have 2 smaller logs from the, well, from here. This log and then this log that will be milling up as well. So a couple of things in the queue. So out here in the shop, I have all of the 4/4 stock milled up for the highboy. A lot of the stuff is going to be sitting around until I need it for the project, and then I'll take it all down to final dimension. But at this point, it's mostly milled up flat and cleaned up, so I can stack these aside, let them rest, and then when I need them, I can pull them into the project and get them down to their final dimension. But I'm pretty excited about the upper case, which I'm not going to start on for a while anyway, because the panels for those are pretty nice. So this is what I have going on for one of the panels for one of the sides for the upper case. And I really like these boards because a lot of the stuff I had from this whole stack of boards I showed last week was really all, it was all pretty much straight grain. So all the boards were, in my opinion, a little bit on the boring side. However, I'll be using the straight grain stuff for the drawer dividers and stuff like that that needs to be hidden in the background more. But these boards actually had some cathedrals, had some interesting stuff going on here. And what I really like about these is that the grain kind of curves, so you get a little bit more visual interest there. as well. Now these are still oversized, it's still like 4 inches of extra width here, so I'm still kind of debating in my mind if I want to include a little hint of sapwood in the final piece. You know, that kind of breaks with the traditional look of this period, I guess, but you know, I'm not limited by that. So some more thinking there. The only thing that leads me to like not want to take this out and leave this little bit of sapwood here is that as I remove the sapwood, I'll remove more of this space down here, and getting these two cathedral sections closer together might not look as cool, but I got time. I won't be doing this uppercase for a little while. And then for comparison, here is the other side. Pretty similar look with the grain kind of curving out, but I think it's slightly less interesting than this side. Maybe. Actually, they're kind of similar. They're really similar. So still a little while before all these parts get pulled into the project, but tomorrow I'll be starting on the cabriole legs, which I'm pretty excited for because I've always wanted to try making some of those, so that should be a fun experience. And that really gets the whole project moving. So super excited again about that. So let's take a look at some viewer projects. First this week is a changing table by Eric. It's made from black walnut and hard maple, and the white shelving is painted MDF. The joinery he used was Morrison tenon as well as half laps. Eric also has a YouTube channel where he does tool restorations, which are pretty sweet, so if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link to his channel. Next is a Cradle by Roger. Roger made a version of the one that I made, but in this case he used slats instead of spindles. Next are a set of float frames by Garry. Garry enjoys photography and he wanted to try making his own frames. He mounted some of his prints on brace panels, which he says are probably overkill, but these are really just prototypes at this point. And of course, you can see more of Garry's photography over on his Instagram. Last this week is a shaker table by Donnie. Donnie is 17 years old, and this table is constructed out of walnut that he received from his uncle. The table was constructed with Morrison tenons and the drawers half-blind dovetails with a solid wood bottom. Donnie says this project was his first try at inlay and also half-blind dovetails, and he's super proud of this project. So just a reminder, I'll be in Houston in just a few weeks, July 7th and 8th. There's a meetup on the 7th, and then I'm teaching a few sessions on the 8th. There'll be more information about that down in the description. So I think that's about it for me this week. Thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments about anything I talked about today, anything here in my shop, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.